Arriving at work before daybreak is the Minister of Health and Social Services, Unwavering Shangula. He greets members of his staff before settling down for a dose of the day's news and some paperwork, a morning routine that prepares him to preside over the daily virtual strategic meeting with key figures from the Ministry on interventions related to the health crisis.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to welcome you.
Unwavering Shangula was appointed as the Health Minister in December 2018. Over a year into his leadership, the world is gripped by the COVID-19 pandemic, a disease which is caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome. Shangula has been leading the local front as the head of Namibia's response task force in the battle against a disease that has so far taken over 50 lives and infected 6,000 people countrywide. His primary task is bringing the pandemic under control. As daunting as it might seem, he said that it does not keep him up at night. Because of your role, Honorable Minister, many Namibians might regard you as a brave and courageous person. What can you tell us about the daily challenges you have to endure, especially during this time of the crisis?
I am humbled, and I am saying this with a deep sense of humility, that as a Minister of Health and Social Services, I am charged with the responsibility to ensure that the pandemic is brought under control. I must say that we have done quite a lot, and we have the support of His Excellency the President, who is actually spearheading this response. We have the support of the cabinet colleagues, and the government of Namibia has spared no effort to ensure that we get the necessary human and financial resources in order to be able to fight the epidemic.
You must be having a lot of sleepless nights, pondering how to overcome these difficult times we are in. Obviously for you, Honorable Minister, it cannot be easy. How do you manage?
Well, I will not say that I do not have sleepless nights. I do sleep, and I'm a very good person when it comes to sleeping. I sleep deep and relax. So I also have I have gone through what I call a very good university of life. That is the exposure I had throughout my life. I have encountered a lot of difficulties during the course of my life, and I have developed mechanism how to cope with every difficulties. I have said to myself, whatever the situation may be, I will not allow a situation to be on top of me. I must always ensure that I am on top of the situation, however difficulties it might be. We have, obviously I'm concerned if I hear one more case. I'm concerned deeply if I hear that there is a death. But you cannot undo what has already happened. You have to be optimistic, you have to look forward.
The Health Minister is leading a team of dedicated medical doctors, nurses, pharmacists and social workers, many of whom are on the front line in the battle against COVID-19. Their work puts them at risk, and with many having already contracted the disease, we asked whether his ministry is doing enough to ensure that their health is a priority.
The health workers, the brave men and women of Namibia who are putting their life in the line of fire, deserve much commendation. They are our frontline workers. They are people who are risking their own lives so that they can save other people's life. They are properly protected, but having the personal protective equipment as they need, and not only that, but we also train them how to use them properly. Because even if you have got a PPE, but you are not trained how to use it properly, you may still be exposed. You may still contract the virus even when you are having your PPE on you.
Shangula said prospects of Namibia containing the disease are high, but human behavior remains a challenge as Namibians continue to violate restriction measures aimed at curbing the spread, particularly on public gatherings. There are still no signs of a peak in cases, but with infections decreasing at the coastal town of Walvis Bay, not the same could be said about Windhoek. So far, Namibia has conducted 53,000 tests and recorded 2,700 recoveries. The Minister of Health tells Today on One that since the pandemic began, a good rest over the weekend for him and some of his members here at that office has become a luxury. In fact, he also mentioned that at times he even forgets what day of the week it is, which shows their dedication towards the cause of bringing this pandemic under control. Reporting for Today on One, I'm Joseph Shifeni.